Welcome everybody to Bitcoin Live with another exciting episode. Today we have David, I think your name is? Yeah, David
Yes.
from ARknet. Welcome to the show, David.
Thank you very much for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
It's our pleasure to have you on. And David, could you introduce yourself a little bit to our audience so they know who you are and how you got involved with ARknet?
I said you broke up. I didn't hear anything of that. I'm sorry.
Oh, could you tell us, our audience, a little bit about yourself and how you got involved with ARknet? What's the project about? Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so ARknet is inside of the parent company Tautachrome that's publicly traded on the stock exchange in the United States. The ticker symbol for that is TTCM. So Tautachrome is a digital company. We work with a lot of patents, patent pending licenses. We're developing technologies in the space of imagery, augmented reality, and we're trying to really make an indent on the world. I myself am the COO of that company and the creator of the actual ARknet concept. Our CEO, Dr. John Leonard, was the creator of Clixy, which is the imagery authentication patents, which is where we really got our start. But all that sits inside of our public company, and we're looking to really change the world with what we're doing.
Yeah, the project looks super exciting. When Jan came, I was really, it blew my mind. And could you give our audience a little bit an idea about what you're capable of? What's the potential of this project? Because it's quite amazing.
Yeah, so ARknet itself is pretty phenomenal. So imagine being a user, and everything is online nowadays. Facebook's online, Yelp, everything's on the internet inside your phone. What we've done with ARknet is we've taken that internet and allowed a user to overlay that internet in augmented reality in the geospace around them. So as a user, you can create these geolocated objects, but these objects actually act as storage containers of different types. So if it's even so much as a social media post, you have photos inside of it, videos, documents. It can be restricted access, public access. But being different types, they could also contain everything from a full e-commerce store where you're selling products. It could be a memorial over somebody's grave. It could be a mailbox where you receive digital mail. The uses for this are absolutely endless. Now, all of these user-created objects run on one functional network. So I could view something from where you guys are in the Netherlands, and you can view something from where we are in the United States. But we've also attached augmented reality to the concept of what we're doing. So imagine when the hardware finally starts to catch up and everybody's got a pair of augmented reality glasses on their face and your phone's in your pocket, and you're walking down Main Street downtown, and you're seeing all these icons floating around you, and you can interact with them and click on them and see what's inside of them. You're really overlaying a full digital network into the world around you. So you're bringing everything that's unorganized and disorganized on the internet and bringing it into the geolocation of your surrounding area. Or if you want to visit the pyramids of Gaza, or you want to go to Beijing for the day, you'll still be able to do the same thing and see what's in that space in that particular area.
Yeah, so in that way,
repeat that one more time for me.
What do you, because you also want to achieve something for the commerce, like stores, physical stores.
I'm so sorry. One more time. It kept breaking up on me.
No problem. You also have a vision what you want to achieve for local stores with your project ARknet.
Yeah, so that is our Main Street shopping initiative. So you look at the pandemic we just had. A lot of these smaller businesses, they weren't yet involved in any sort of commerce. So if you're in your local town or local area, who was open, who was closed, who had online ordering, who had an online store, it was very disjointed. Now, there were a lot of large players like Amazon who we can't fault them for it, but they were very much built for what this was. They were wide open and ready to receive orders. Now, what Main Street does is it allows these businesses to create these geolocated icons that act as, again, storage containers, but also contain your entire store. So if I'm a florist, I could have all my products inside that store. Now, as a consumer, if I wanted to find, as a local resident, a flower pot or a pizza or this, I Google search, I'm getting the top stores, I'm getting Walmart, I'm getting Home Depot, Amazon. It's very difficult for local competition to keep up. And being that all these local businesses are still very separate, none of us are unified. Even though we have the same customers, everybody's disjointed. So the ability for me to find a flower pot or a baseball bat or a thing of roses is very difficult in my area. So imagine if you can go on ARknet and I can search for flowers. Now these 4 local florists in my area have that. I could buy it, I could pick it up, I could have it shipped all right from my store. So I could shop my local community of businesses or even a faraway area the same way that I shop Amazon, but I can do it locally and start and actually reconnect with local businesses on a local level.
Yeah, that was one of the features I really loved.
I think there's a little of a lag in it. Yeah, in the interview. So for the people,
it goes blank every now and then. I'm sorry, guys.
No problem. So, and I can also imagine, besides augmented reality, there's probably also a big role for virtual reality and perhaps gaming.
Oh, for sure. So we just, I'm not sure if we put it out or how much I can say, but we have these AR, almost like a blend of AR, VR shells that we're putting into ARknet. One of our community members had a great idea for doing like augmented reality mazes. So we made one. It was she was like several hundred feet across. We did it in like a football field or a baseball field, and it was actually a giant augmented reality shell. And our lead dev guy Jordan was actually walking through and doing walking through a maze inside this augmented reality shell. And on this, the solid maze was actually different picture icons. We took photos from actually one of our stores in Main Street. So as you're walking through a maze, you could actually you'll be able to in the future interact with all those different products that are on the walls in there. So it's, you can customize it. Imagine them for like for Halloween, and they have those Halloween mazes. You can actually build an AR maze and walk through an augmented reality maze, at your baseball field, or if it's small enough, in your front yard without tripping. But we're kind of starting to blend the AR VR experience, into the platform, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. And like you say, you really can also visualize it. So it makes user interface probably much better, very user friendly, actually.
Yeah. So imagine like the same thing, with our stores, with like the iPhone, the hardware is finally starting to catch up with what we're trying to do. So the latest iPhones have those scanners. Imagine being an ARknet user and you have like a florist shop. I keep using that example, but you want to scan a bouquet of flowers or a vase to put inside your store. You can scan that item with your phone in 3D and load it into your ARknet store. So before I even go and buy that vase or I buy that thing of flowers, I can actually pull it up in 3D AR. My wife gonna like these? Yeah, she's gonna like these, and I can go make that purchase. But the same thing for sneakers or for sofas, cars, you name it. With the e-commerce landscape is gonna really change the way that shopping is gonna materialize.
David, do you have any competition in this field?
Oh, for sure. There's augmented reality all over the place. I know Amazon's starting to do it. I saw an ad on my Facebook feed for Walmart. See this chair in your space. I mean, the comments weren't the nicest in the world, but that's really the way that that shopping is headed. Everything, the narrative of what's been out there with this pandemic is money is dirty, contactless purchases, buying online. It's the way the world is headed, whether we like it or not. Everything's going to become digital. So instead of me buying something and then having to return it, I can see it in full scale what it is in my house before I even make the purchase. So that's going to be a large part of learning, commerce, education, and healthcare. It's going to touch every facet of our lives. But competition-wise, I mean, there's plenty of platforms out there. A lot of the augmented reality ones are really a kind of a one and done. So there's an app for an augmented reality spider or an app for your AR sneakers or this or that. What we've done with ARknet is we're creating a platform where all of that can live. So we think of it kind of like an incubator. So if you have that really cool sneaker AR application, well, let's integrate it into ARknet. And that was part of our shopping experience. So we're creating a home for all of that augmented reality.
Yeah, that's probably also why it's called ARknet, like the
arc of VR and AR. I love it, AR.
And so it works out pretty good. If like in, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, so the AR obviously is in the word ARK, but ARKs are really, let me go back to the concept. An ARK is something where you keep something valuable. So whether it be pictures or photos or videos, and then the network of ARKs being the ARknet, and AR really fits into all that, which is awesome. So it worked out well.
We love it. And I was also wondering about the payment structure, because I guess you can also pay with fiat, but also with crypto probably.
Yeah, so right now we have Stripe integration. Stripe has done a fantastic job with mobile payments and as well as apps. They are well ahead of most competitors out there. So if you make a purchase now, you know, like kind of like Amazon, your credit card's stored on file and it's encrypted. We don't handle any credit card processing information. But if you want to shop your local community, your payment is stored inside of our system. So if I go out and I shop at 5 different stores locally, I've exposed my credit card information at 5 different places. If I were to go on ARknet and make those same 5 purchases, I've still only exposed my credit card once. So that is, you know, we're trying to make that a seamless process, shopping your entire community. But as far as crypto, a lot of it falls on the backs of Apple, Google, the banks, Stripe. They're still very much, no, hands off, hands off. So integrating that in such a way where it's not going to cause a problem or get us booted if you want to take everything. But the coolest part is, you know, I'm sure even with your own family, a lot of people have no idea what crypto is. It scares them. They know it as Bitcoin. With all this Dogecoin and all that stuff coming out, you know, you could be like, the other weekend I was eating ice cream and the people on the table next to us saying, you know, Dogecoin, Dogecoin. And it kind of puts a smile on my face because the average person is now becoming aware of digital assets. So making more of seamless purchases and easy purchases is going to be the future of what we're doing.
So what is it about the project that excites you the most? What about ARknet is like your favorite feature?
Oh, there's so many things. I mean, the e-commerce is pretty spectacular. Personally, I really like the memorials. That's always been kind of a personal note for me. So a brief description on that is, you know, same thing with all this pandemic stuff. People weren't allowed to go to funerals. There was a lack of closure. So being able to create one of these objects over a gravestone and have people comment on it, leave videos, it's really an everlasting memorial to a person's life. Imagine if you knew you were, you know, on your way out, I could leave a video to my family and have it posted. It sits in there and just floats in geospace over my gravestone. That could be visited from on site or from the Netherlands. So I think that's probably the heartstring one for me is definitely that one. But the e-commerce one and the NFTs are probably the most exciting.
Yeah, can you tell us, tell our audience a little bit about the NFTs?
Yeah, so going back to 2013, Tautachrome, that's where we got our start. We've been very much in imagery authentication, and ownership is kind of the core of what we are. So the concepts that we applied for patents, which are now referred to as NFTs today, we took, you know, imagery and we said, well, how can we trust this picture? Who owns this picture? So by using our method steps in the patent we applied for, and using something like a camera or a smartphone or a scanner, you know, we found a way in our method steps to authenticate that or use something like a blockchain to make that viable. So it's pretty phenomenal what that works into, and a lot of players are now using this technology for like MLB, and the UFC wants to do it and selling all these NFT tokens and cards and pictures. But we really were the pioneers in the NFT imagery space before the term NFT was even coined. So we've been a long-standing player in that space. And that applies to more than imagery. So if you you know, kind of further put that into the ARknet platform, what if every single one of those ARKs was an NFT? You can attach NFTs to documents, people, imagery, videos, mailboxes, signatures, you name it. We've built the platform that can literally be a metaverse and make anything an NFT. But more importantly, making it seamless, easy, and cheap. So your average person can just click a button and it's an NFT. And that's what we want to do.
Wow. Yeah, that blows my mind. And I think a lot of our audience and people who don't know about ARknet yet, they will in the short future, I could imagine. But that's a very powerful feature, because I think you just explained it beforehand a little bit, but everything will be digital. If you go for shopping or even real estate or even a picture or video, everything will be digital. And then it's very important that we know who's the owner, and the usability that has been
that's critical.
A critical piece that has been very hard for people who are non-tech or a little bit older. Don't understand it.
Yeah, our experience with NFT is that most people associate them with imagery, especially with art. But the NFT in essence is actually like a unique identity that you can prove a unique identity, and you can use it for anything. And
actually, going back to the imagery and the art, I think a lot of it is, like I've mentioned before, it's kind of a bubble. The NFT and the artwork pieces, it's an exciting portion of this, but the utility for me is where it's really exciting. So now, if you take the additional features of these, what we call CLIXI patents, those patents from 2013 and beyond, we have 5 of those granted patents now, 3 of them which cover the NFT portions. But if you look at the additional features with the picture, not only is just assigned ownership on a blockchain, but there's also multiple layers of invisible steganography and watermarking that are applied to those imagery and those objects. So now if I have that picture and somebody makes a copy, okay, who's got the original? Well, mine has the watermarking. If you disturb so much as a pixel, that's not the original. I have the original. And with all that additional metadata using widgets and all that stuff, you can identify, well, my picture's over here, my picture's over there, my picture's over there, but I still have the original. So that can be very important in the future. Not even so much for content creators, which realistically everybody now is a content creator. You don't got to be famous in Hollywood anymore. Everybody's a content creator, included. But it's the way the world is going, and having all those features packed into your imagery and being able to have conversations inside of an NFT. Wow. That's something well beyond what is out there now. There are websites. You can buy my 3D picture, you can buy this, but have you taken it to the next step? Can you like an NFT? Can you share it? Can you comment inside of it? Can you put things inside of that NFT? And that's the level we've really taken this to.
Yeah, that's awesome. And can you also reveal a little bit about your roadmap to the future? I mean, what are some of the new features that are coming? Can you tell us a little bit about it, or is it all hush-hush?
Well, being that we are a publicly traded company, there are some disclosure laws that we have to abide by. Being that we have some viewers here, but 8,000 and change shareholders, this wouldn't be a medium for public disclosure. But we do have some exciting things coming in regards to NFTs and exchanges and a crypto token and all that jazz, which will be coming in the very, 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 very term. Hint, wink, wink. But yeah, there's some exciting stuff. A lot of the stuff is the polish up, the augmented reality, adding some navigation to the app itself, and really trying to make it seamless. So we'll have probably this weekend is all of our AR and 3D objects inside the application will have their own kind of library. So it'll be a very quick, easy access to start pulling up AR. But those would be kind of the advances we're really pushing towards now to make it seamless, make it fun, start adding some games. We had some teasers about the moon landscape there, which will be another world for communities that can start geolocating, and that'll have some game and NFT aspects to it. So that'll be some fun stuff as well.
Also, a personal question. I saw your video on YouTube also about what ARknet is and how it works. I wanted to download the app because you also have an app for iPhone and for Android. But I couldn't download it because I'm in the Netherlands. Are you going to expand worldwide, or is the Netherlands on the list? Or
it is. So you guys fall into GDPR. If you're familiar with that, those privacy policies and regulations have some serious teeth to them. One of the core missions of ARknet, Tautachrome, and CLIXI was to be sure that we're providing data privacy for individuals as well as ownership. So we collect as little information on a user as possible. Unlike some of these other large platforms, we're not going to be farming data, we're not selling data. But at the same time, we have to make sure that the data we do have is secure as physically possible. The fines that the European Union passes out with GDPR are not little speeding tickets. They're substantial. But we did start making the moves to adjust our terms of service, add multi-language to our platform. We now have Spanish on all. So we're exploring and adding to dozens or even hopefully the rest of the world, to start adding the ability to download, because realistically, the three Americas, I call them, Australia, United States, and Canada, is where we are now. That is not the largest portion of the NFT market by any stretch. You look at Southeast Asia, Europe, South America. There are tons of digital asset users on there that we certainly want to make our platform available to, and that's what we're making the steps for that now, is to really expand our availability to those. I mean, we're not a website, so we are a mobile application, which makes it a little harder than an average website. But now we want to start expanding that now that we have a footing and a grasp on what's happening.
It's always good to secure the work. So the more secure it is, the better. So that's good to hear. But I'm also kind of curious because the whole AR field and the VR field, how far along is that from your perspective?
It's getting there. The problem you have with the AR glasses are coming along. The biggest problem, I think, is location. Your average GPS signal, depending on your phone, depending on where the satellites are, I mean, you can have ranges that vary from 30 feet, which is not very helpful if I'm walking down the street for positioning objects. So image recognition is coming a long way, but we do need additional hardware developments to make that a little more accurate. I mean, it's pretty accurate now based on the map, and the locations we use now are pretty accurate. But even though they're accurate inside the application, your phone may not be the best. So if you're using maybe an iPhone 7 or an iPhone 6, your hardware is limited. The GPS is limited. So it can cause an experience to vary, or a geolocation to vary, unfortunately. But I mean, it's getting there. It's coming along. It's just the hardware has to catch up to the software.
Okay.
So the software has to catch up to it in some cases, yeah.
Yeah, and we always also ask our guests, because this is a crypto and NFT project. What is your prospect on crypto in like the near term or the let's say 2-3 years out? How do you see the crypto space develop?
I think there's going to be a lot of projects that'll probably go away. There was a larger weeding out. It's really going to boil down to some store of value, but in the larger part, some utility. So we're seeing a lot of hype in these meme coins and all that stuff that may or may not provide utility. But once people start using it for actual transactions at businesses, it's going to pick up steam rapidly. So the Dogecoin, however you say it, is definitely a good thing for overall awareness of the crypto space. I mean, some people certainly lost money on it, but I don't think it's going anywhere. It's the future of the world. You look at what the Federal Reserve, the IMF, what these larger players are doing. They're saying, hey, it's coming. It's coming. We're all going to have digital currencies. China's ahead of the curve, and there's really no escaping it. If you own a business now, you know that cash payments are probably no more than 18%, 16%. Everything's credit card processing now. So it's becoming very much a cashless world, and digital assets are to streamline that, because nobody wants to pay 2.5%, 3.5% on every processing fee. I'd rather pay a lot more smaller than that, of course.
We totally agree. Actually, more or less the same question about NFTs. You sort of already answered it, but how do you look at the NFT space as a whole?
I think it's going to expand. I mean, once people get a grasp on what it is and get off the hype of the current market and start looking ahead 5 years and the actual utility of what's going on, we'll start getting a lot more use out of it and viability. But it's here to stay. It's not going anywhere. You're going to hear the word NFT or the phrase NFT for the rest of your life in some form or another, or some method of another. So I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So if people, personal question, of course, but if you hold an NFT, is it easy to integrate it in ARknet? Can you upload it in there already as a private person?
Yeah, so that I think is one of the biggest problems with NFTs now. You use something like OpenSea or some of these other sites, your NFT pretty much becomes a website link. So who's storing that picture? Our development partner, Honeycomb Archive, has 20 years of digital asset storage experience for Fortune 100 companies. So if you buy an NFT, well, we can hold it for you. You can store it, you can take it yourself, but it's not going to be just a link. It's going to be something viable in that space. So I think we're going to be solving a lot of problems and paving the way for other companies to make advancements in that as well.
Yeah, that will be a big use case for ARknet as well, and for persons, but also for companies to start doing stuff in the NFT space, and go to ARknet to be in your virtual world.
Yeah, I think it will improve the whole space in a big way.
Well, yeah, but think about with commerce, and I didn't actually answer your initial question, but if you want to bring in an NFT from someplace else, we're going to be working on making that process possible. But there's non-fungible tokens, but there's also fungible tokens. So there's a difference between the two. And when you talk about commerce, if I have 300 products for sale, if I want to attach NFTs to those and see where they went, or collector's editions and things like that, you'll be able to do that. Think about baseball cards and memorabilia and all that stuff too, and actually have a ownership sequence attached to all of those products as well.
Wow, that's really cool. So yeah, maybe a final question. Is there any development within ARknet that you want to highlight, or that you want to share with our audience?
Definitely NFT stuff and navigation. NFT will be the biggest things. I mean, we're working towards pushing out our Main Street initiative. We have a lot of local events down in Florida that we're going to be attending. There's dozens of those over the next several months. But the NFT stuff is definitely going to be the most exciting and relevant, and we're starting getting attention from a lot of bigger people. I saw like Charles Payne was commenting on another interview that we did, which is pretty awesome. So we're looking to get some more larger videos and really start getting us out there. And now exposure is the name of the game. So I anticipate there's going to be a lot more of these interviews going forward. But really just jumping onto the mainstream and people saying that, damn, where the hell did this company come from? They've been building for 2.5 years and we've never heard of them. So it's really out of left field by design to make sure nobody can duplicate what we're doing, use the patents and patent pendings that we have, and just say, here we are, baby, we're here to stay.
Well, those are the best companies. So
yeah,
the builders and then the marketing, and we'll help push it because we love it.
Yeah, we're totally happy and proud that you came on Bitcoin Live and talk about ARknet, because I saw your videos and I saw what I think it is.
Huge potential.
Yeah, I think it's not even how do you say it? You cannot put it into numbers what your company is about to do. So we're supporting it, retweeting it, and looking for all the new features that will arise really soon, as you explained, without telling us exactly. But we'll keep a close tab. Yeah, we will.
Appreciate it. Yeah, it's exciting stuff, man. I'm so excited. I'm grateful for you guys and for all of our community and our shareholders, and I anticipate there's going to be another community joining our community very soon, which is pretty exciting. It's going to champion what we're doing, and so we're just looking to change the world for the better. And there is so much that can be developed here. We're not looking to hinder any development of any kind. You join us, and let's make the world a better place. It's really the name of the game.
Wow. Well, we wish you all the best, and we know you will succeed, and we will try to do our little best to help it along in a little bit. Yeah.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate that very much. We appreciate that, all of us.
Okay. Thanks very much for being on the show, David. We really love to talk to you. Hope you'll be back on when you have the time a little bit later on. And,
you're always welcome.
Yeah, always welcome on Bitcoin
Absolutely.
Live.
Yeah, let's do another show when we have these other developments out. We can go more in depth to the NFTs and the digital assets and all that stuff. That'd be spectacular.
Would love to.
That sounds really good.
Yeah.
So thanks, guys.
Thanks very much, David. Have a great Sunday.
Yeah. Wish you a really nice day.
Talk to you soon.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
So, people, that was David of ARknet.
A really exciting project. Definitely check it out. We'll put all the information you need down in the description box. And of course, also follow us on Twitter, because we tweet about these kind of projects.
And retweet,
of course. So we keep a close tab on them, but also follow them themselves on Twitter, because that's the best place to get the information straight from the project itself. Show them some love. They're really big. They're going to be much, much, much bigger.
This is the future. People, this was the future, is the future. So, and it will be something very, very big in my mind. I would not lose them out of my sight.
And like David said, there's a lot of really exciting stuff coming really soon.
In the near future, really near future.
Yeah, so we'll keep you posted on it. We're very excited, and we're very happy that David was on our show. And we'll try to get even more and awesome projects on the show, like ARknet. We love it, and we'll keep growing.
We always do a small giveaway for your attention. We always do that on Twitter. So tell us and ARknet. So tag ARknet and David on Twitter, and tell us and ARknet what's your biggest takeaway about this awesome project. And the best one will
win $10 worth of XRP.
Yeah, it's doing really nice at this moment. So fast transaction on one of the fastest blockchains, I think, out there for your attention. So tag us, tag ARknet, and give us your takeaway on this video.
Yeah, just make a simple tweet.
Yeah.
And we're also going to transition ourselves. We're trying to improve our channel continually. And we're going to make shorter content and to make it higher quality.
Yeah,
that's always our aim, but soon you'll see what it is going to mean.
Okay, on that note, we're going to say goodbye to you guys, and we'll be back real soon. So keep your eyes posted for Bitcoin Live, and see you soon. We always say two things at the end.
Yeah, watch, learn, and earn, and makes you wonder. Take care, guys.